Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another pregnancy update. It just feels so crazy to me to be sitting down filming these updates, and I have quite a few things to share with you today. I have my scan, my first scan. I had it last week, so I'll talk to you a bit about how that went, and I'm also going to share with you symptoms, how I've been dealing with morning sickness, because I have found a few things that actually helped me. I'll give you a bump shot today because I feel like I've already got a bit of a bump going on. If you don't know, this is not my first pregnancy. I actually already have a son. He's 4 years old, and he's going to be 5 soon. And I also had a pregnancy that ended in miscarriage nearly 2 years ago now, and it ended in miscarriage at 13 weeks. And you know, we've been struggling with infertility and loss for nearly 2 years now, and yeah, this pregnancy has been a long time coming. I'm not gonna go too much into that because I do have a separate video that I did just on that topic. So if you want kind of more insight into what happened, then I will link that video down below. But today I'm just going to talk about weeks 8 and 9 of my pregnancy. I also want to have a bit of a kind of raw chat about what's been going on, kind of how I've been feeling, my emotions, and just, I guess, having a pregnancy after infertility and loss is just so different than my first pregnancy, where I was a bit more oblivious to these things. Like, not oblivious because you know this is a possibility, like miscarriage is always a possibility, but you just kind of have a bit more of that innocence, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna just kind of chat to you a bit more about that, but I'm gonna start with symptoms, I think. So my number one symptom is the nausea. It's like all day, every day, it is there. Like sometimes I wake up in the morning and I feel okay. I, you know, have my breakfast, and then like an hour later or something, it really hits me, and it's just all day long. I feel like during week 8 and towards week 9, now that I'm week 9, I'm actually 9 weeks and 5 days today, so I'm nearly 10 weeks soon. It has been so intense, like that nausea. I actually took a ball with me, like one of those balls that we sometimes use when my son gets sick, and I've been carrying that with me sometimes, because if I'm in the living room or somewhere where I'm not really close to the toilet, sometimes I have this really strong urge like I'm gonna be sick, and I never am. It's just that feeling, you know, like that constant feeling. But yeah, it's just relentless all day, every day. I think if you're pregnant, you can probably relate to that, although I know some people are very lucky and they don't have morning sickness, but I think this time around it's been much worse than in my previous pregnancies. I don't know if it's because I'm on fertility medication as well. I've mentioned this before. I'm on progesterone and also thyroid medication, and I know progesterone can have this side effect as well. It can give you nausea, so it might be that that's making it worse. I'm not sure, but I have read that weeks 9 and 10 are usually the peak of morning sickness. So I'm week 9 and 5 days. I'm kind of hoping that it will slowly start to go away soon-ish. But yeah, it's just been quite bad. It's really hard to eat. I have found 2 things that kind of help. It's not like anything magic. I'll show you one of them. So I found these travel sickness bands. So they look like this. You can get them on Amazon. I'll try to link them if I can find them. You can get them in Boots if you're in the UK, like the pharmacy. So basically what they do, it's like acupressure. It's called like a tiny plastic ball here. So it's acupressure bands, and you put them on your wrist. They're very tiny. I think you can get different sizes, but they're supposed to be a bit tight, I think. So you just put them on your wrist, and they're supposed to be like you need to put your 3 fingers from your wrist, and that's where the ball is supposed to go. So it's kind of that point right there, and you put both of them on, and I think you can keep them on for however long you want. And I will say they do help. Like, I'm not sure if it's placebo. I don't even care if it's placebo. It does make me feel better. So it's not like the morning sickness is still there when I wear these, but I feel like it's not as intense. So I don't wear them all day, but when I feel like it's getting really bad, I will quickly put them on, and it just makes me feel better. So if you haven't tried these, I would highly recommend them. I think they're supposed to be for traveling, but obviously morning sickness as well. And I feel like my nausea, like in the morning, it's there, but it's okay-ish, like manageable. And then in the afternoon and towards the evening, it gets really intense. So those have been helping. And then I've also been getting just mint, just kind of mint candies, or yeah, I guess you can get peppermint candies. I've got the Mentos ones, and I just chew one of those when I feel like it's really bad, and it kind of helps, just kind of that minty, refreshing thing. I've tried a lemon, like lemon water. I used to have that like more in the beginning, around week 6, I think 5, 6 of my pregnancy, and now it just makes me, maybe it's just the acid from it, but I just don't really enjoy that at the moment, so I haven't been having that lemon water. But the mints really help, and those bands, so if you are pregnant, maybe give those a go, see if they help you as well. My aversions are insane. Like I have mentioned this in my previous update, but the pepperoni on I can't even say it, on my son's pizza, he loves having that. He would have it every day if I would let him, which I don't. But yeah, the smell of that, it's just, it doesn't sit right with me at the moment. It's really bad. I have my husband cook it when possible, because I just cannot handle it. Like I have to put my hand over my nose or something, because like if I have to cook it for him, because it's just, it really gets to me. And lately, actually, tomato sauce, like if we had this recipe from Gusto with tomato sauce, and it had quite a lot of it, and that also made my morning sickness really bad for some reason. But I feel like if it's a spag bowl, like spaghetti, where it's not a lot of the tomato sauce, I'm fine with that. It's kind of weird, but so I've been having quite plain meals because of that. And even like you probably know, I make my weekly meal plans, and this week I've got really plain meals going on, like just oven fries with some feta cheese and salad. I got lasagna on there. I got a ready-made one because to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to eat it. We're supposed to have it tonight for dinner, but I'll see how I feel then, because it's really hard, because I plan the meals on a Sunday for the whole week, and then by the time I have to cook and eat them, sometimes I don't feel like I can have them. So that's been quite hard, but you know, I'm just trying to have really plain things. I've been having a lot of toast, crackers, plain pasta, anything like that. Another symptom is that I've been so emotional. Like sometimes I will sit on the sofa and I'm not even watching anything sad, and there will be something that just kind of makes me feel like crying, which is so random sometimes. But yeah, I'm sure that's from all the hormones that I'm also taking, and you know, pregnancy hormones as well. So yeah, I guess that's to be expected, but it's been quite intense, especially in the past few weeks. And then another symptom is that I've been more tired, especially in the afternoons, and I think also the fact that I have to pee more often, but I think that's just a given with pregnancy, isn't it? So also I think what I've been probably mostly struggling with is, I guess I would call it maybe perinatal anxiety, which I think it's especially different when you have had infertility and loss. It's, you know, it's just a different game, I guess, because you lose kind of that innocence. And I think especially the fact that we've had a loss at 13 weeks, so I was supposed to be 13 weeks, baby had passed at 12, and I didn't know that. Like my body didn't give me any signs. I just found that out at the ultrasound because it had no heartbeat, and I think just that makes me so anxious for my future ultrasounds. Like I've had a good ultrasound so far, a good first one, which I booked privately because I was just anxious and I wanted to see that everything's okay, you know, and it did give me some peace of mind. But I do feel like as my future kind of scans approach, I am starting to get a bit anxious because, you know, when you get bad news at one of those scans, I do feel like it's quite traumatic and it sticks with you. So I guess, you know, I'm just doing my best. I'm trying to kind of stay hopeful and try to stay positive and think about all of the things that are going well in the pregnancy. And yeah, but it has made it hard to kind of bond and feel safe in the pregnancy, which I'm really hoping that in the second trimester I will feel better about this, which I think once we pass that, you know, that milestone where we lost the pregnancy last time, I do think I'm going to be less anxious. I don't think I'm gonna be completely anxiety free, but just kind of more secure, I guess. So I'm really looking forward to that scan. I have my scan booked for 12 weeks. I'll actually be nearly 13 weeks by then. I think I'll be a nervous wreck when I have that appointment, to be honest. But I have found something that has actually made me feel much more kind of reassured. So they have this website. If you Google miscarriage reassurer, I think that's what it's called. And if you go on there, you can put the number of weeks and days you are in your pregnancy right now, and it tells you the odds of not having a miscarriage. So but for example, at 8 weeks, which feels quite early, right? It still feels very early. The probability of everything being okay is 94.8%. So there's a really high chance of the pregnancy going well, especially if you see a heartbeat as well. And now I am, let me type it in. I'm 9 weeks and 5 days today that I'm filming this. And the probability of having an okay pregnancy and not miscarrying is 97.2%. So I feel like that's quite a high chance of everything going okay. Like obviously it's a much higher chance of the pregnancy going well and having a baby at the end of it than miscarrying. Like obviously when you have been on the wrong side of this statistic, it's hard to feel like it. It feels like it's such a high chance of it happening again. But I'm really trying to focus on that, like 97% chance everything's going to be okay. So yeah, it's one thing that has actually helped me. So just in case you need that reassurance, if you're going through this as well, that might help you out a bit. Yeah, so I had my scan. I'm gonna show you the picture now. And the baby, I was supposed to be 8 weeks on the dot when I booked my scan, and the baby is actually measuring 5 days ahead. It's measuring 8 weeks and 5 days. He was measuring at the scan. Obviously now I'm 9 weeks and 5 days, but I think it's because I ovulated early, which I already knew because I was taking, you know, ovulation tests for my fertility medication and everything like that. I knew that, but I wasn't sure, you know, if the baby's gonna be bigger or not. I think you never really know when the baby was conceived, do you? That was really nice to see that he's actually on track and he's actually measuring bigger. So he was, I say he, we don't know what it is yet. I guess it's just because I already have a boy. I just say he, but we don't know what it is yet. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl. But this is a picture of the baby. So that's what it looks like. So it's got the little head, and you can even see the arm buds and the little legs, and it's just so cute. Yeah, so this was 8 weeks and 5 days, and baby was measuring a bit over 2 centimeters. And we also got to see the heartbeat, which was really nice and reassuring. It's just nice to see the pregnancy progressing well. So I'm just really keeping my fingers crossed that everything keeps going well and that my future scans are also okay. Oh, I'll show you a quick bump shot. This is what it looks like at 9 weeks and 5 days. I feel like it's already so big, and the thing is, you know, it might be a bit of bloat, but I actually wake up in the morning with pretty much this bump, so I feel like it is, you know, the pregnancy. Yeah, so that's it from me so far. I hope you have enjoyed this, especially if you are pregnant yourself as well. And I hope you're having a lovely day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!